made about Debbie. First of all, I am her oldest sister. There are three of us. She's in the middle, and this is the baby sister. And what's so interesting about what you're saying is the way she fits into our family. She has the same characteristics that you've been talking about. Actually, there are 20 years difference between me and my younger sister, and Debbie is right in the middle. And what she has learned is how to deal with us. I think that's why you have such an advantage now, you know, her good qualities, because she knows how to wiggle her way around and get what she wants, even though we are telling her what to do, especially me. What's interesting about our relationship is when she was born, I was in the 4th grade. And it was my responsibility to get her to the babysitters. My mom said I was quite mature enough that she figured that I could do that. But I'm going to tell you a story about that. When I was in school, there was segregation. That's what's the interesting thing about it. I had to take her to school, walk about 10 blocks. And halfway there, I dropped her off at the babysitters. And I walked past about 3 schools before I got to my school. But I still had fun, because what I would do is, we lived on a hill, sort of, and I would push her in the stroller. and what I'd do, I'd push her, then I'd run in front of it and catch her before we got to the end of the street. So I had a great time getting her to school. This happened for about 3 years. When I got in 6th grade, that's when the 1954, when the Brown versus Board of Education came into effect. And so I was able to go to a school closer to home. I only had to walk 3 blocks then. But what's interesting about that story is Debbie went to that school, and 50 years later I became the principal, which I thought was pretty neat. You know, she went to the school that I could not go to, but then I became principal. But there's so many stories I could tell about her. But one of the stories I wasn't going to tell, but since you made that comment, as I said, she was the baby for about 10 years before my brother. I have a brother he's in Memphis, and we were there to visit him last week. But when he was about, I guess, well, when he was born, he couldn't say Deborah. He, that's enough. He would call her Dada. So that's what I've always called. And I'm the only one who still call her Dada because.
Okay.
What's up, Dada's getting right.
Let's stand up to me for today.
But everybody else calls her Debbie now. But that was, you know, one of the things that I have to tell you about her. Henry wasn't going to tell you all these things, but I don't mind telling you that. Also, it's interesting because I was like the second mom to actually both of them, and I used to have a lot of responsibility, and I loved it. It was such a pleasure because Debbie was such a sweet child, and she listened to everything I said. And it continues, but now what happens when I'm the one who's usually thinking about things to do, and they pretty much go along with what I'm saying, but she's the treasurer in the family. So when I'm planning all these events, she has the money. So that's how she can control me about what I plan to do. So she knows how to get around people and how to get what she wants, and she's very sweet about it. I mean, as you have said, she has a way with getting what she wants and being nice about it, and we just love her too. We want you to know that. She's such a dear person in our family. She does some of the same things that I'm hearing that she does with you. Like in our family, if something special is coming on, she always makes sure that everybody's recognized. She makes sure that they get special things and special treatment, and she's the one we can always depend on, and we just love her. And I must say about her husband, Henry, I was so glad when she met him because they hit it off right away. And then Cherie was born. Henry was such a good family person. That's what I liked about him. I'm very strong family person. In fact, when they met, my youngest son, Jay, when they met, my youngest son, Jay, was just born, and so they were courting at that time. They hadn't gotten married, and so Henry was there at the birth and everything, so he was a real good person in terms of support for the family even before they were married. And then, of course, Cherie came along, and then she met her wonderful husband, MJ. We're proud of them, too. But I wanted to tell you the one last thing that I'm through. What's so interesting, also, what's really unique, which I cherish about our family, is this. That's my husband, and that's my youngest son. I have an older son as well. He couldn't make it today. Is that my husband and I were married August 14, 1965. Debbie and Henry were married August 12, 1975. And Kay and her husband were married August 3rd, 1985. So I thought that was so unique in the family. We're 10 years apart. We got married 10 years apart. So next year, I'll be celebrating my 50th. Debbie and Henry will be celebrating their 40th. And she will be celebrating her 30th. Cool. And to keep the tradition going, MJ and Cherie got married August 8th. So they're also an August birthday. They'll be celebrating their 5th on this August. And my son also has an August birthday, which is anniversary, which is August 5th, and he'll be celebrating, I think, 10 years. So that's just some of the things I want to tell you. I'm going to stop because Debbie's going to really get me. Thank you all for making this such a special day for her, because we know that she's a special person, and it's so nice that we see that other people recognize this, and it makes us feel really happy and blessed also. Is that all? Shout out.